if you leave it open to the South, they will give it to Peter Obi because of us.
So what happens then if he's given the ticket?
I will ask you that. I will respond to that now. First and foremost, the ADC ticket is Atiku's ticket. I don't have to miss words over that. Atiku is the owner of the ADC ticket. Atiku is a veteran when it comes to winning primaries. A man who competed against Lions and had the process manipulated in his favor. Is he the same man that will come around with antelopes and lose? Forget about that. Atiku is the owner of that ticket. You know, before I go further to explain to you, the only way power can be taken from Asiwaju is if people like us, like me, do ahead of the 2027 what we did ahead of the 2023 when we formed the obedient movement. That obedient movement, we formed it. Obi didn't know how and when, how and where. We formed the obedient movement because we wanted something new. That was a people's movement that came on its own in an organic manner. We were the architect. I was the precursor. Forget what anybody may have to say. I will so release a documentary on that. You know, anybody can make claim to anything. All these people who insult us on the internet today, if you say I'm not supporting Obi, they keep insulting us on the internet. They didn't know the price we paid. We beg the PDP to give Obi to us. Can you overrule the role of Payo Adebajo, Chief Ike Clark, Air Commodore Dan Suleiman, all of blessed memory? Or you want to undermine what the Middle Belt Forum did, Bitrus Pogo, the only one remaining now? You want to undermine what people like Opadike did, Igbo Elders Consultative Forum? And Eze Igbo did not even support Peter from the onset. They resisted me. All these boys making noise now. The agitation for restructuring that started in 2019. 2019 was an open window for Atiku to have become president. An election he arguably won. That was the same day, on the day of election. You remember what INEC did? Postponing the election after people had left their places. Because they knew where the pendulum was swinging. And what that all that INEC wanted to do could not be perfected if the elections were to be held that day. Leave that. I don't want to go into that. That was what made me to knock Rufai. I knocked his head when he was trying to say what he didn't know. The only force that can take power away from Asiwaju has not come. And that force is the youth force. When the youth force appears and the youth force chooses to power the ADC, they will have a chance. If the youth force chooses to power the Labour Party, they will have a chance. The youth force is the youth force. What are we talking about? When the young people who have the capacity, the young people who have the power to make things happen, 60% of the 93 million or 94 million ballots belong to the young people, youth and women. When we sit down again, if we have a reason for such and say, you know what, let's create a force that will change the old order and now choose to correct the ease of the 2023 election, putting a compelling force on INEC to make sure is either you do it right or it ends inconclusive. That is when the incumbent will know there is a force to compete with him. Not all this coalition. The coalition, by the way, look at all of them. Those who are, it is easier for you to say, oh, we saw in Lagos a mammoth crowd came to welcome Aregbesola at the airport. In the Nigeria of today, the plus and minus and the ABCD put together that led to that mammoth crowd waiting for him. You can't overrule the possibility of inducement. Are you getting what I'm saying? So there is only one force, the youth force. That was the force we used in 2023 to demystify the APC, demystify the PDP, take a weak Labour Party, adopt Peter Obi, and became the political nightmare all the gladiators ever there.
Now,
This is indeed a feat marked by doggedness and resilience. As Lieutenant Colonel Onyechi and
one of the strategies